top 3 ways to get as many sales as you can handle. A proven system. As I kind of talked about this a bit before, but you guys have to understand that you got 3 pieces that you always need to have in every sales processes online. And if they are broken, if they do not work, you can look at it and see, okay, I got to focus on this, because that's one of the pieces and one of the reasons I'm not getting that results. And those 3 things are actually, number 1, having a sales funnel that converts. I talked about this. If you are telling people to go someplace that does not convert, a website, for example, it's not that I hate websites, I love them, but not in a selling situation. Because when you have a website, it's kind of if you had a salesperson that was just handling papers and staying back and hoping that people actually make a decision by themselves to make a sale. You would actually fire that person if on the spot, if he or she was doing that. A sales funnel, on the other end, is a salesperson that's going to go to the person, greet them, make an excellent person, actually identify their needs and help them the most. You put them through a process. When you have a website, you just have a pretty front page that you put them on and you hope that they're going to buy from your pretty front page. A sales funnel, on the other end, is something that's going to sell them, something that's going to convince them to get a specific result, a specific action done. And it's extremely important to understand. So always make sure that the traffic you send the people that you convinced, persuaded to go to a place to buy something, make sure that when they get to the page, well, they actually buy the thing. Because that's wasted traffic. If you don't do that, you are wasting a ton of money. All the effort that you put it upon that place, upon that time, well, you are not maximizing the amount of results you can get. So make sure that the end place when you collect money is set it up the right way for them to pay. Make sure that's one of the most important things. Now, the thing number 2 that you need to take care and make sure you apply is that you got to become an expert in one-to-many selling. You got to understand the difference between one-on-one, one-to-many, and you got to make sure that you are ready to sell to those people. You got to understand the ins and outs on how to persuade those people and actually make them go to where you want them to go. And that's one skill I'm going to talk about, a simple process in a few minutes. So if you're excited about this and learning in a few minutes, that step-by-step process on how you can get as many sales as you can possibly handle and persuade those people to go to your place, to your .com, to get to the place that you want them to go and actually help them get the results that you're giving to them. Make sure that you stay tuned until the end of the live show, because that's something that you're going to get a tremendous amount of value for. Guys, hey, oops, went for the next one again, but I'm going to still make a point on the fact that if you do not understand how to persuade them, if you do not understand how to change the false belief, because that's all the things that you got to do. It's always about handling objections. The only difference between one-on-one and one-to-many is that you cannot address them directly on the spot. So what you basically have to do is throw some trial clauses and things and ways to handle those objections. And I'm going to tell you a way, in the exact way, on how to handle those objections in the step-by-step process. But the thing is, you got to identify the different kind of objections that they will got, handle them with a specific process, and from there they will understand, they will have belief, and from there they will listen to where you tell them to go. Now, next thing that you got to understand is that you got to bring a ton of traffic to these pages, because now the third thing that you got to understand is that you can have an incredible .com sales funnel set it in an incredible way, pages perfectly optimized, headlines, top-notch marketing material. Wow. And you are an incredible salesperson on stage. Man, you're good. But if nobody listens to you or nobody goes to your page, well, you got to make sure that those people actually go to the pages. And I talked about that in the last few episodes on how to actually bring traffic to your pages. The first time you're doing it, how to earn your way in and get all the traffic for free, and also how to get all the traffic again and again and again coming in your doors with follow-ups and things like that. But guys, if you do not have the traffic, you have pretty much those 3 pillars. If they are not standing together, the whole house collapses. You can have a lot of traffic and being great to convince people. If you do not have a great sales funnel at the end, it's going to not work, and vice versa. If one pillar of those 3 pillars is broken, the whole house collapse. So make sure that you do follow those 3 tips. And I got a bonus tips for you guys. I got a bonus tips for you because I always like to share with you guys something as well that you can add to the top 3. And the bonus tip is that you got to build a movement around that. When you are all those things and it all, when you have your house with the 3 pillars built in and everything is stabilized and good, now what you got to do is you got to bring people to that house and make sure they see it as the place to be, the party to be in, always and always. Because look at all the big companies on this planet. They did not create, yes, they did create a great product. They did have the great sales funnel. They were good at persuasions. They didn't bring a ton of traffic, but what they did as well is that they created movement. Look at Apple, for example. People identify to being Apple users. They take part. They throw rocks at the enemy. Look at the PC versus Mac or Android versus iPhone war. Like people actually, and why do people have those strange behaviors? Because people take part as a community, as Apple users. And when you take part as a community, you see other people that are not in your community as enemies. That's the strength of it. Because think about this: if you can have buyers that are so into you and what you sell that they're actually defending your products and why it's better, and actually, kind of a good way, attacking other brands and criticizing them, is this is like, hey, this is well because our product, our thing is the best. We are the best. Like, do you see how how valuable it is? Because people go in the company for the products, but they stay for the community. That's what's going to actually help them and help you to create sales again, and again. So make sure that you build a movement. You're aiming to build a movement when you have all those 3 pillars set it up.